Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you are watching this video. My name is Father Sam. This is St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Petersburg, Virginia, and this is our first attempt at video announcements. We're not going to do this every week. I'm going to try to do it about once a month. Our bells, our emails, they are often long to read. Our announcements during worship are often very short, and I try to say as little as possible because I often preach too long. And then I'm trapped trying to make the service a reasonable length. So, if you want the longer form version of the announcements, what's coming up during the next month, we're going to try for a little while recording them toward the end of each month and saying like, hey, here's what's coming up. And what's coming up at St. Paul's is that we are in a new version of our Hope Center food drive. We are collecting cake mixes and brownie mixes and icings and fruit, things that are sweet, things that are treats, things that maybe if you are collecting for a food pantry, you don't immediately think of. We've done canned goods, we've done pastas, we've done soups. So now we're going to offer something just a little bit different. This will pair with a Lenten activity we're going to do where we're going to collect the same kinds of things, and a few more. We'll have a list, and during Lent we're going to make and collect the materials for birthday cake boxes, something that you can give to somebody that is everything that they need to make a birthday cake. Because everybody has birthdays. Petersburg is one of the hungriest cities in the country. There are many different sort of irons in the fire about how to fix that. The governor has plans. There are grocery stores that might be built soon, but right now 60% of the people who live in this city are what the FHA considers to be a food desert, where either they don't have access to food, or they don't have access to good enough food, or they just cannot afford it. That is a situation that we are able to help. If you have the ability to feed your neighbor, the gospel commends us so to do. So this is our collection for this season as we work up towards Easter, is cakes, brownies, sweets. As we work up towards Easter, Easter and Lent, we are also offering adult confirmation classes. 3 Wednesday nights coming up. The first of them this week, January 29th, February 5th, February 26th at 5 p.m. right here at St. Paul's. I'm going to gather with adults who are interested in confirmation, reception, reaffirmation, maybe even just talking about what the Episcopal Church believes. You can show up to these classes and not get confirmed when the bishop comes here on March 2nd. So those are going to be adult confirmation classes. That is January 29th, February 5th, February 26th at 5 p.m. You are welcome then to stay for our Wednesday night dinners. Also coming up soon is on February 8th. We are going to have our first second Saturday service in the evening. 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, February 8th, we are going to have a service for the next Sunday, for the next day, but in the evening, so that families who have trouble getting their kiddos up, or anybody who works on Sunday morning, or if there's travel soccer that's getting in the way. We're going to start with once a month offering a family-friendly service, 4:30 on the second Saturdays of the month. It will be at least one reading, at least one Bible story, children's-oriented sort of homily, and then a brief Eucharist that is also instructed, so that everybody gathers around and we talk about what the prayers are. I have done this kind of service before, and it is really meant to engage children and teenagers in what worship is and the shape of worship in the Episcopal Church. But I've also had adults and parents come and say, oh, I didn't even realize that's what I've been doing for X number of years. So I commend that second Saturday service to anyone. February 9th is going to be, that's the next morning, acolyte training between the two services. The confirmation class that day is going to be very truncated so that anyone, adult or kiddo, who's interested in acolyting can come and express that interest, learn a little bit about it, and we can gauge how much interest there is. If 20 people show up, we could probably have a full suite of acolytes every Sunday. If 3 people show up, we will put on the calendar the couple of Sundays during the year that it's most important to have acolytes. So that is for adults and children and teenagers and anybody who might want to know what it is we're doing up here. February 9th is also a meeting in the afternoon that we are going to have with all of the nearby Episcopal churches. Our senior warden and myself are going. Our organist and choir master is going. We're going to do Holy Week planning again with the nearby churches, with our neighbors. Because one church this size doesn't have the capacity, doesn't have the energy, doesn't have the staffing to offer all 17 services that are part of the American Anglican tradition of Holy Week. That's the kind of service schedule that you can do if you're like a 3,000 person parish in Houston. But 4 or 5 churches getting together might be able to offer everything. It won't mean you have to come to everything, but it does mean that we are planning to have a Holy Week where you could go to anything you remember as a child. Oh, we used to do something on Tenebrae. Oh, we used to do a Stations of the Cross. Oh, we used to do the Easter Vigil. So look for that and more details of that and our neighbors to come. Lastly, I want to commend to you the installation of our 35th rector. That's me, 6 o'clock on February 19th. Wednesday, February 19th at 6 o'clock, the bishop is going to be here with guests from 5, 10, maybe as many as 20 different churches to come and see me installed here liturgically. I have been the rector for almost a year now, but because the bishop had surgery and then I had a child, we did not get to do the worship part of that joining of the church, where I make promises about how I serve this community. And so I would love to invite you to that on Wednesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. Those are the bells, the announcements. There are some other ones. There's a parish workday on February 15th. There's Tuesdays in Lent where we're going to do, where I'm going to offer confession for anyone who is interested in it. You can find more details about those things in the next recorded version of this announcements, or you can read your email or look at your bells and announcements printed in the bulletins when you show up here on Sunday mornings. Like I said, my name is Father Sam, and this is St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Petersburg. We don't always talk about everything that's going on at the church, but this is one of our attempts to be a little bit better at letting people who are interested know what's going on here. There is a lot of new life down here in Old Town, and we would like to share it with you. God bless you, and may God's blessing shine through you into everyone you meet. Amen.